TV.
Now Caitlin Clark on the floor here, scoring in a season as Boston
And shooting it in the corner.
as too does Indiana.
Big deal for Indiana.
And here, expectations are Colson left alone. She got a championship in this building too.
Level is that every ball.
On offense, that means they don't hold the ball for more than a steal for this pace early. Mitchell 1-on-2, Boston. She'll take it herself.
They've got to improve that mark.
Bonner thought about the three and was fouled there.
This year with the depth.
Mitchell launching. Wilson, she's a good three-point shooter. Three-point percentage a year ago. He had something in the shot fake, got Enxler into the air.
I talked to Brittany Sykes from Washington before. Added weapon for sure. There's the speed with which that's going to be.
Colson bouncing, Howard charging. And here is the 4th overall pick. Your rhythm back as Iriafin. Sutton pulled. Dramatically changed here, Debbie, over the last year.
I know the global impact is there.
Checked in here for Indiana for the corner here. Iriafin off the
to her before the game. She has incredible
camp to gel together. To be built here as Mitchell fire away. Season and fever scoring. Draft. Those players trying to make this rock.
Really good defender.
Ears in grease. Iriafin carving out teammate Sonia Citron. One of the most productive players in all of more athleticism-driven WNBA games. Oh, the hesitation and
Lexi Hall on the ball has become
throughout the season into the playoffs, and Recto lines up. And
if we start seeing a lot of that in the league.
Two have a lot in common as Citron.
A great pick by Washington.
Defense. Bonner crossing over. I think when Bonner was signed.
It's winning 2 WNBA. You know, she can play 22-20 block here today.
Here, can't play with them tight.
That's one. We're going to keep track all year.
Citron, hands off.
The other way. Blue for the fear. There's Caitlin Clark.
Playing in Iowa City tomorrow. As a cutting situation. Cole's going to have to get it up. She just does.
Celebrating hoops in the great state of Indiana.
Round 2 tomorrow. I'd say probably closer to 10. Careful as Cunningham is left alone. And
Druskoff and Amber Cox.
They gotten away with a foul there on Hull.
You got to get up the court. It's a player that's definitely
through traffic. Bonner extra pass. Ola Cunningham has had points, a couple of rebounds in 8 minutes. Boston Shield attacker and stop. Season and they're missing Caitlin Clark, so there's the double team. Steps through, fires it. Howard now puts on the break, wheeling inside. Howard trying to use her size. The three gets right to the rim. Late.
Indiana, she was excited about the title.
No question.
They are now.
Noakes talked about this. She had and showing out here in that first preseason game.
Skinny over the top of screening action, so effort by a team.
And will she get it off in time? She will not.
You can outscore all the teams. You got to be on defensive end.
Here's Howard that hung their hat with Tamika Catchings on defense.
Was #1 in defensive coach in her career. Player to be able to see.
Hits the floor, no whistle. Look at this for a hostile act. Claire Aubrey in to mesh together. You have to.
The officiating in the league.
Defensive-minded coach Stephanie White.
There's some new vernacular screen, but you got to know personnel.
Free throw shooter a year ago. Versick, Kelsey helping out. There's Olsen spinning away. Flip shot 2-on-2. Hole right up the middle. She'll take it. Here's Cunningham, and she draws.
What a brilliant. The floor is going to be much different for Sophie this year.
In 10 minutes. It doesn't matter if it's preseason practice. She'll step back. Rebound, nice effort from the rookie, but a bad
hand. She had a pick 6.
Again, Cunningham, coast to coast. Regular season form as Sykes can't. Howard stepping back, using that athleticism. Wilson launches, driving on Enxler, who stays with her. Difficult
on film is when the ball sticks.
Don't get back defensively, and Sykes makes
impressive.
As Enxler spinning on Cunningham, bounces Howard the left hand. She averaged 18 points.
They can change the rhythm. That gives you talk trash to her to take her out of her game. That's okay.
Our preseason opener. And in the first quarter, and now Bonner to the.
It's not in the act of shooting. Their pick and roll game is trying to throw.
All of the shot clock down to 5. Two-man game. Here's Enxler, corner 3. And Cunningham, I don't know if she reestablished herself. You don't get the 2 for 1, and then when you don't, leaves it for Sutton, who's wide open, but Mitchell say no, and the shot did not.
Events in 2016. Now they're not.
Mitchell did not hit a shot in the finish. Pulled back within 2. Here's Citron.
Pressure her. And it
game that Third overall pick.
Stuff right here. High ball screens.
Spinning on Enksler. Howard the right hand this time. Sykes the leading scorer on the night. Can add two.
So they put it off the glass.
Sykes feed in. Repost Olsen and a third foul. Citron turns the corner. Higher.
Citron's probably going to get 8 or 9.
Court pass. Here is the rookie. Dialing up. Olsen cut off there by Sutton. Level.
It's an excellent pick by the French.
Extra pass. Bonner. Corner 3 alone.
Hands with her 6'1" frame. It's a
tip for Boston on a fake. Boston gets it. 100% ready for the recto. Good position. Shot to the rookie. Area Finn. Howard floats it up.
moves pretty well, and she shoots it. Area Finn out of the pick.
Side Debbie Antonelli. Kelsey Casper on a. Here is Boston. Just got around Prechtel. To Melvin. Pretty spin. Gets to the rim. Howard
White has kept it very simple defensively.
Here is Ashton Prechtel to the line. And kind of size up.
I think Prechtel's a good backup for Stephanie.
And off Mitchell. Bullseye. Here is Olsen on the other end.
Your transition defense. I think Coach White, I think this is the way teams in the league play. It's
But the inbounder got it back. Set up here. Extra pass. Corner 3. Hits. Oh. Olsen and since that Boston 3 double team. Cunningham fakes the pass.
pass took too long to get there.
Cunningham. Here's Hull. It's not a shooting foul, so Enksler, Bonner hangs. Bonner couldn't get.
All of a sudden, you're a guard or playing the 3.
5 here from the line today to finish her career as Enksler left alone, and she rattled. And looking inside for Boston, she and Dolson defense there by Sutton to stick with her. Boston looking back door and got it to cut.
I remember how
Inside 2 beautiful passes there.
That's what I say.
And it was a successful challenge.
An offensive game.
Now, thanks to that, Reed Sykes launches and misses. And Hole will launch. And
Sykes.
Back from a 15-point first. Have to come up and join us here. So, as for the officiator.
Yeah, that's a great. And those points of education, contact on drop of the game, and often 4 really. We have 2 training tournament, and we did classroom training event, crew chief training. They're tighten that up and get more efficient.
Here in front of the Gamebridge Fieldhouse.
And then sort of with the trend, we're settling into things that get looked at. Every play, every call, every no call. Focus on is really training our
When not to hustle to look. Is it somebody back?
looking for
The most important thing about the freedom of movement
of the WNBA, but we don't want to let when we make a foul.
Educate us on some of the areas of emphasis here.
How about that? She just popped up here and
Citron corner 3.
same side. Look at Boston with a little flip. Passing skills on display here.
Well, Hole carving out space. Stephanie White as Melbourne draw out of last year. Clock down to 5 with Jolinda trap. Second half. Area Finn over Boston. Difficult.
I think she's in the gap. She
Egypt putting on the moves. Ducks in.
How locked into every.
Mitchell on the drive. Aggressive attack. And 2 of them are on this FIBA roster. Olsen lets it fly. That as well. Came over from
today as well.
Here is Brown.
Both teams digging deeper into their.
Here for Washington. Deep gets inside. Sets up Hull. Inbound pass. It was Green who gets to the foul line. Bounces inside. Prechtel launches at 3.5. Prechtel corner 3.
And good D right here. Look, but you got to get on the defense.
For the players in the.
It's a really smart play.
Here's Hole right up the gut. And
Congratulations.
off the mark.
These though with their effort.
Lacey on the shot fake, fires up a. And cut. 19. Green driving the baseline. Nice find inside. Inside for Timpson, who.
I think we're going to consider it that as the season goes.
Here's Prechtel. Shot clock down to 5. On the breaks. Cross court pass. Jones. Cunningham. Floater. Bounces around
Something.
Cunningham
Yeah,
on the drop. Almost 11. Most of this roster a negative. Circling around here. Cole racing the other way, and
To get it to 0-2.
Jones feeding Case. Brown puts on the brakes. Couple brief leads.
Score right now.
Tough off.
Green for the dive. Really good. Center.
Inside, Timp's in deep position. Or here in overtime. 3. Lacey finally spot. Brown on a second effort, an ill-advised shot. Season opener after falling behind.
You know, Stephanie White has kept it very simple defensively.
So here is Ashton Prechtel to the line and WNBA regular season minutes, and kind of size up one, make one of those last couple roster spots.
I think Prechtel's a good backup for Stephanie.
Boston, handoff Mitchell, bullseye. Here is Olsen on the other end.
You got to get matched up in your transition defense. I think Coach White, but I think this is the way teams in the league play. It's
Melvin, the inbounder, got it back, set up here. Bonner gets inside. Boston, extra pass, corner 3. Hits
by the Fever.
A rookie on a 16-year pro. Olsen and Indiana now looking to take their first lead since that Boston 3-0. Boston driving into a double team. Cunningham fakes the pass. See Melvin. She comes up with a turnover.
Pass took too long to get there. Setting the tone for the Fever.
Cunningham. Here's Hull. It is the 3rd foul on Washington. It's not a shooting foul, so Bonner shot fakes the 3. Driving on Enksler. Bonner hangs. Bonner couldn't get.
You're sized up next to her on the floor, and all of a sudden you're a guard or playing the 3.
And she's 5 of 5 here from the line today. She wants to finish her career as Enksler left alone, and she rattled by 2. And looking inside for Boston. She and Dolson out of a cannon, the hesitation. Defense there by Sutton to stick with her. Boston looking back door and got it to cut.
By Boston. I remember how
Brown able to wrestle that one away. Feet inside, 2 beautiful passes. So you like to say that's a coach's assist there.
That's what I say.
And it was a successful challenge.
I think that makes for a more entertaining offensive game.
Indiana up by 1 now, thanks to that tier of the 3rd quarter. Sykes launches and misses. Look, turned it over on their last possession. Hull will launch.
And Olsen setting a really nice drag for Sykes.
But the Fever have battled back from a 15-point first. Who's here in attendance and kind enough to come up and join us here. So, as looking at what are your areas of emphasis for the officiator?
Yeah, that's a great education for the season, and those points of education: screening, traveling, contact on drop, and then respect for the game, and often in. Right after the Final Four, really. We have 2 training down to the Portsmouth Invitational Tournament, and we did classroom. It came off of a 4-day classroom training event, crew chief training, and I mean they're in video, they're to work on our replay, you know, just tighten that up and get more efficient.
3 as she continues to sizzle here in front of the Gamebridge Fieldhouse.
That was a new rule, and then sort of with successful challenge if there's no possession. With the we can exhale a little bit in that we're settling into the other rules or sort of interpretations that, you know, get looked at the officials, right? So every play, every call, every no call team. So what we focus on is really training our
being in the right spot and hustling to get there, and when not to hustle to look. How, I mean, when you say analytics team, is it somebody back?
Our officials. So we're really looking for, you know,
and because they're so skilled, what's the most important thing about the freedom of movement?
People, I think, love the physicality of the WNBA, but we don't want to let in rhythm as sort of the guidelines for when we make a foul.
Greatly appreciate you joining us here, helping educate us on some of the areas of emphasis. Great to get Sue's insights here.
How about that? She just popped up here and they're looking at, because everybody wants them to get it right.
Citron, corner 3 here so far. Races. Washington gets back nicely defensively.
Citron icing, keeping the ball on the same side. Look at Boston with a little flea out of Aaliyah Boston, and we've seen her passing skills on display here.
Jim has checked in, one of the rookies as well. Hull carving out space. Interesting grouping here on the floor for Stephanie White as Melbourne draw on the stretch. So Jade Melbourne, third-year guard, out of won bronze with Australia at the Olympics last year. Mitchell with a shot clock down to 5. Mitchell into trap. Knocked down 3 shots here in the second half. Iriafin over Boston. Difficult.
I think she's in the gap. She as well as the skill set.
Iriafin on Ejim, putting on the moves, ducks in.
Team while she's on the bench, but the main takeaway has been how locked into every.
Kelsey, thank you. Here is Mitchell. Mitchell on the drive, aggressive attack. And 1,000 career rebounds, and 2 of them are on this Fever roster. Aggressive rebound, Washington. Olsen lets it fly. That's Jaylen Brown, who has just checked in as well. Came over from.
And Noah Leah Edwards for Washington today as well.
Here is Brown.
Here defensively. Both teams digging deeper into their.
Not a single starter on the floor here for Washington. Deep-year-old rookie. Here's Cunningham, gets inside, sets up Hull. Indiana turns it over on the inbound pass. It was Green who. Olsen shot fakes the 3, gets to the foul line, bounces inside. Here's Olsen working on Hull. Prechtel launches at 3.
Cunningham running most of the point here in the second half.
Brown just checked in, comes up with the steal. Prechtel corner 3.
Still offensively, and good D right here. Hey, nobody stops the ball. It's a wide open look, but you got to get on the defense.
Put in these moments, but great learning opportunities for the players and the
defender. So it's a really smart play.
Turner's pass knocked away, came right back to her. Here's Hull right up the gut. And he just got engaged a couple weeks ago as well.
Congratulations.
Off the mark.
Washington's got to be pleased, though, with their effort. Figure some stuff out.
Lacey on the shot fake, fires up a wall. And cut. 19. At Alabama. Green driving the baseline. Nice find inside the 2025 WNBA draft. All inside for Timpson, who
About her falling a little bit in the draft. I think we're going to consider it that as the season goes.
Here's Prechtel, shot clock down to 5.
So
Green puts on the brakes, cross-court pass, Joe in regulation. Green got by Cunningham, floater, bounces over.
Cunningham has, but wait for the drag, let's run something.
Cunningham
a little
on the
bit
drop.
minutes, so, you know, we mentioned the plus minus, right?
Almost Team Cunningham plus 11. Most of this roster a negative. JoJo Lacey circling around here. And a bad pass, and it's stolen by Hull. Hull racing the other way. And
Down 15 in the first half. Fight to get it to OT.
Jones feeding Cave with Prechtel. Brown puts on the break. Nearly the entirety of this one. Couple brief leads.
I think Prechtel's the best three-point threat on the floor right now.
Tough off.
Up screen for the dive. It's a foul. Really good center.
Brown hit the big shot a moment ago. Feeds inside. Timpson deep position. Rookies and a second-year pro on the floor here in overtime. Still on the handoff to Green. In the extra session, shot clock down to 3. Lacey finally spot fence, can't finish underneath. Brown on a second effort, an ill-advised shot. Fever will take their preseason opener after falling behind.